What's up? I'm not really awake yet, so you'll have to bear with me, but I just want to start this video by admitting that I really need to work on my bushcraft skills. Last night I put this tarp way too high, and it allowed for a lot of moisture to get in, so I'm going to have to readjust this tarp. Although everything is already soaked, this pillow is soaked, my feet are soaked, and I'm going to have to deal with that for the next couple nights because I don't think the sun is going to come out and dry anything. So anyways, it's nice to have challenges in life, you know, especially if you're a guy, you know, if you're a man. It feels really good because I was pretty bougie over there in that apartment for 9 months. I had the little studio and I was making the little raw food videos and the Pyridine videos and doing the Instagram lives and stuff. And I had like a couple of tripods and a ring light, and I really enjoyed that, you know. That was a really cool phase, but then the carpet got pulled out from under me. It really wasn't my fault. I can't tell the story. The relatives asked me just to be quiet about it, so I'm going to let this whole saga just pass by, let it go. I took the U-Haul video down, and you know, I got to hand it to some people. I mean, they were a little bit negative and derogatory. They're like, you have ADD and bipolar, and you need to get some Ritalin, and you need to get some Adderall, and you need to eat a cheeseburger, because I had been awake for like 36 hours. I did something I've never done before, and I drove 24 hours straight from the Pacific Northwest all the way down to LA. And then my car blew up in the middle of the night, and then I had to wait for U-Haul to open up, and then I got the U-Haul and finished the drive down to LA, and then we accomplished the mission. And then I was in LA. I got to hang out with Lou. I just randomly ran into him. It was awesome. And then stayed up till 2 a.m. talking to him. That was a conscious decision. About 9 p.m., you know, I was like, okay, I'm just going to forget about bedtime. And I'm going to just hang out with Lou here. And I knew we were going to go late. And then I checked into this motel, and it was right on the freeway, and it was just so loud. And that's how I've become so much more aware now of some of the problems that people are having with their health in our toxic society. And I hate to say that because America's amazing, the world is amazing, life is beautiful, people are beautiful. It's hard though, man. You know, now some people, they don't like me, and they'll make it known on every single video, and I can't block everybody. Why they've been following me for 17 years just to complain, I don't know. I think it says more about them than me. It takes a lot of courage to get up here, be vulnerable, and tore to pieces every day. But all you awesome people that are supportive and loving and kind and cool and call me for consults and leave cool comments and stuff like that, I really appreciate it because I see a bigger picture now, you know. The food thing, that's a very nuanced and very expansive subject. And there's so many different layers to it, you know. And I won't go into that now. But what I wanted to say is that I'm going to continue to share this new revelation about the sound pollution, noise pollution on the human nervous system. Also the light pollution as well. All these blue lights everywhere, and how we can use the sunrise and the sunset to balance our circadian rhythms. And so sleep is very important. And pretty much everyone I talk to when I consult with them, or my friends, they don't have a regular sleeping habit. Now, my friends all know, you know, Dan McDonald, he's a 9 to 5. And he gets up and he goes home. He goes home, he has dinner, he stretches out, does some yoga, meditate a little bit, read a book, and I go to bed. And I've been doing that until the carpet got pulled out from under me. That's a whole big story, but whatever. You know, I feel like, you know, God is trying to do something here. I don't know what it is, but there's going to be a life change. And since I got some sleep last night for the first time in like 2 weeks, I feel much better this morning. Now, I got soaked because I put the tarp too high and a lot of moisture got in here. And so everything is soaked. But other than that, I slept really good because there's no air pollution here. The air is fresh. So already all the crap is cleaning out of my lungs from LA. I spit up a couple of big giant loogies because I was in LA for only 2 weeks, but all that soot and all that pollution builds up in your lungs very rapidly. And the fresh air is way more important than the food. Can you dig it? And so that's already starting to clean out. I'm going to go hike up this hill today. I've never made it to the top. And today I'm going to just make it to the top. I don't know how far it goes. It's a combination of like hiking trails and logging roads. So that's my mission today, is to get to the top of that hill, even though it's raining, whatever. I've been soaked all night, so it doesn't even matter anyways. My clothes and stuff are all soaked, so whatever. And then there's the light pollution, which is really messing up our circadian biology. And that's why the people are, and I know people are like, Dan McDonald, you're crazy. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't go to your channel and call you any names or anything like that. So I'm not as crazy as you are. You know what I mean? Like the people that are always like pointing out that I'm crazy, that I need to do a different style of content, that I need to live my life differently. The thing is, here's this thing. And I was laying here this morning thinking of this probably really early, like 4 or 5 in the morning. I was just thinking, I'm free, and that's my priority. That's that's my tenant. Everyone has, or should have, a tenant with the hub of their life. And the hub of my life is freedom. And so what I try to do is make sure that however I live my life, that I have my freedom. I am beholden to no one. I have no people in my life that I owe anything to. I don't owe the government anything. I don't owe anyone anything. I'm completely free. So that's my tenant. And if you're a woman and your tenant is security, then I truly do understand that. I'm not telling everyone you need to be free like me out here soaking wet, just to keep yourself from being beholden to anyone or even anything. That's why sobriety is so important in my world, That's why I continue to, try to encourage everyone to get sober. And I know I've been attacking the coffee lately. It's just because I was with my daughter and, we were at the market and she's like, I can't function until I get my coffee. And it started this whole new, attack the coffee people. But I just feel bad. My poor daughter, she was a barista for a couple years to make money. And now she's got the coffee habit, just like my ex-wife, who's been trying to break free from it for like 30 years since I've known her, And so her adrenals, are all jacked up. And so she's exercising at 3 a.m. So I'm trying to help people get their circadian biology proper, to eat a proper whole foods diet, 1 or 2 moderate meals a day with juicing as a supplement, And if, I always recommend the colon cleansing herbs and stuff like that, so people can try to get some of that grease and wax and mucus out of their GI tract and improve the quality of the microbiology in their gut. And then get that fresh air wherever and if you can, to get those sleeping habits by utilizing and getting rid of all the little light pollution in your house and not looking at the phone at night. And there's also, so not only are we dealing with the air pollution, and the light pollution and the noise pollution, but we're dealing with a whole nother level of all of these non-native EMFs. Out here, listen to and feel. The reason why I scream at you is because I'm trying to fit in an hour's worth of stuff in 10 minutes, because I know that my videos go on and on, but I'm so excited because I can help people. If they understood all this stuff, they would see that Dan McDonald isn't as crazy as he seems sometimes. You know what I mean? That if you address these things and you prioritize them, you can help yourself and your family and your friends. We're all going to die. We're all going to get old and either skinny or fat and fester and die. But maybe we can have a good time by getting enough sleep, by and trying to understand the non-native EMFs and all these frequencies that are these shortwave frequencies. But out here in the nature, our evolution, we've been listening to this creek for millions of years. But how long have we been listening to motorcycle engines as you're trying to go to sleep in this motel right by the freeway on-ramp? Never get a hotel or a motel by the freeway on-ramp, which I did every night thanks to Booking.com, which I'm going to throw Booking.com because they have screwed me out of money and it takes me days and weeks. I'm sick of using it. The technology, I keep saying, I just want to talk to a person at the desk. I'll pay a little extra. I don't want to try to save 5 or 10 or 15 or 20 bucks anymore because Booking.com just, So the technology sucks. Humans are awesome. They can do a good job. They have compassion. The AI and the technology is so dry. They don't have any concern for you. And then you got to, if you mess up and you say, hey, I booked here, and they're like, well, we don't have any rooms tonight. Oh, well, Booking.com said you did. They took my money, and now you don't have any rooms. And then you got to fight them like hell to get your money back. Anyhow, enough ranting and raving. So I believe in health. I want people to feel as good as they can. I don't want to be a know-it-all. I don't want to get up here and argue with anyone about diets or niche markets or anything like that. I'm just talking about general stuff so that we don't get cancer, diabetes, obesity, depression, brain damage, mental disorders, you know? Like you can work your way out of mental problems with good nutrition, good exercise, good sleep. And the number one thing that helped me is meditation, you know? Meditation has really, really helped me a lot. It's probably one of the number one things that I've done, you know, to help me personally with what I had to deal with in this life, which is, as an Aries, more head stuff. Anyhow, I hope everyone's having a great day. I wanted to check in. We'll talk more about this stuff. You know me, I get on a thing and I just go with it over and over and over again until everyone gets it, which takes a long time, you know. Turn the lights off, go to bed, get some sleep, watch what happens to your brain and then your kidneys and your liver. Through the different hours of the night, the body detoxifies the melatonin that you get from the sun on your skin and in your eyes. But it's like people don't go outside anymore. They don't go out to nature anymore. They don't walk anymore. They don't go to bed anymore. They don't eat natural living foods anymore. Wholesome foods. Everything is like cooked and then frozen and then reheated. There's no life force left in that. There's no biophotonic energy, is a popular way that people like to say it. Light. Yes, we need light. And we need good, pure water. And we need to stay hydrated. And we need to get outside and stretch. And if you can, try to learn to love people, even the ones that hate you. You know, I understand them. You know, there's nobody that I dislike. Sometimes I get a little upset because certain people have access to my content and I wish they didn't, you know, because all they ever do is complain about how wrong I am about everything or whatever, how crazy I am. And then you go, of course, look at their page and you're like, yeah, that's the pot calling the kettle black. You know? I mean, these people like, you know, I don't think I'm that much Looney Tunes, you know, I'm just a little bit unique in that I am hell bent on staying free in this prison planet. I don't want to be anyone's chim-chim. I don't want to be anyone's slave, and I don't want to be enslaved to drugs or coffee or food or weed or alcohol or anything. You know, I don't want to be enslaved to credit card debt. So I live differently, and I want to live free, and that's just me. You find your tenet, whether it's security, whether it's honesty. Everyone has to have one tenet that is the hub of their wheel. And then the spokes of the wheel come off of that, you know. So I hope everyone's having a great day. I got to get up and get moving here. I know I talk a million miles an hour to try to cram in an hour's worth of stuff in 15 minutes, but that's just what I feel like I have to do. Because I would talk, because I've always wanted everyone to get it. I want everyone to understand what I know about circadian biology and how important the sun is and light. And I want everyone to go to bed. And I want everyone to eat good food, you know? And I want everyone to stretch and walk and go outside. And I want everyone to, be as happy as they can be. And so I try to make these videos and see if there's anything I can do to help. Because I love what's happened to me. I've been so blessed to find these things out and then to apply them and to be blessed by them. I'm still pretty good for a guy my age, I feel really good. I'm grateful, and I'm going to ride this adventure for as long as I can. When I'm like probably in my 70s and stuff, I might not be able to do this stuff as easily, You don't want to be out here when you're in your 70s and 80s. You can, but all cold and wet. Like I'm going to get up and I'll get moving. I'll put on these wet clothes and I'll get warmer. And I'll walk up this hill, which is my mission for the day, And I don't know where I'm going or what I'm doing with my life, but I do know I want to help people with these topics, with all the pollution, the light pollution, the noise pollution, the air pollution, and now the Wi-Fi, radiation, non-native EMFs, which are just, you got to get away from that stuff and get grounded as much as you possibly can in every way that you can to make your life as good as you can. Because here's the thing, I'll end with this. There's no biohacking. There's no shortcuts. You're not going to change nature. You're not going to change God. You have to change yourself. God and nature are not going to bend to your will or your desires. You have to bend your desires and your will to nature and God. God is the adamantian rock. It's the unchanging absolute. It's not going to bend to your will. You have to bend to its will. And the more you can surrender to God, sounds easy, doesn't it? And then when you try it and you're honest with yourself, you're like, well, I'm holding on to a lot. You're like, I surrender to God as long as I get my way. See? And you'll see. And it takes a lot of courage and a lot of faith and a lot of devotion. But the more you are able to surrender to God, your own personal ego will, the more things will just work themselves out naturally and spontaneously with great faith and great grace. And Mother Nature, she's a little more amendable because she loves you so much. But she's like, I can't change billions of years of evolution of life on this planet, coming from the most tiniest single-celled amoeba all the way to where we are now, the greatest creation on this planet at least, and maybe in the universe, I doubt it, but at least on this planet, with this amazingly sophisticated, cerebral spinal system. But we still have to, if we want to be happy and healthy, we have to live in accordance with the laws of nature. No way around it. There's just no way around it. It would be nice if we could biohack our way or AI our way or inject our way, or it doesn't work like that though, So I hope the message is clear. I promise you, I'm going to do my best to continue to roll with nature while not having an aversion to modern technology. And I'm going to continue to surrender as much as I possibly can to the Most High and see where that takes me. I hope you're all blessed. I hope you're all happy and fulfilled. And I'll see you on the next video. Thanks everyone for your love and support. I really do appreciate it. I really, really do. God bless you.